वो सिस्टर दिव्या गई क्या? सिस्टर दिव्या, किसी का पीपीटी रेडी है पेन ड्राइव में? हाँ, एक बार दे दो उसको। हाँ, हेलो। हेलो। एक्सक्यूज मी उषावंत मैम। हेलो।
Yes, yes. Hello. Can you hear me?
हेलो।
Oh, I can. Hello.
Can you please, this
Can you
presentation,
hear me?
can you just stop this presentation for a while? Uh, Actually, we are testing here, some technical
Uh,
issue is there. So we are just testing here to present the
okay.
uh, हाँ, ओके, थैंक
Yeah.
यू मैम, थैंक
Is
यू।
that
एक
better?
प्रेजेंटेशन दे दो मेरे को। ये क्या कर दे? हाँ, यस यस, एक मिनट। Am I clear, ma'am? Am I audible? Hello? But your voice is not coming. Hello? अरे इसको कौन इतना कम कर?
Yes, I can hear you now.
हाँ, ओके। देखो, हेलो। नहीं ठीक है इसका बस। हेलो। गेस्ट आ गए ना? ओके मैम, नाउ ऑल सेटअप इज रेडी and soon we are going to start our meeting. लाइट नहीं चलाना।
Start.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome on the second day of International Seminar on Recent Trends in Science and Technology, RTST 2023, organized by Department of Chemistry, Holy Cross Women's College, Ambikapur. I am Pragya Singh. I am Pragya Singh, Assistant Professor English, Holy Cross Women's College, Ambikapur. I am once again here before you all to extend our hearty welcome to each one present here today on behalf of our Holy Cross Women's College family. I welcome our guests, our keynote speaker for today's session, Dr. Usha Mantha, who is also our alumni of the batch of 1978-79, who will join us online from USA. Our resource persons for today's session, Dr. Nisha Tiwari, who has obliged us with her presence today and has guided us in yesterday's session. Our resource person for today, Dr. Shilpi Srivastava, our respected principal, Dr. Sister Shanta Joseph, our respected vice principal, Dr. Sister Manju Topo, our special guest for today's session, Dr. V.K. Singh Sir, who will join us later. All the HODs, research scholars, faculties, participants, our dear students, our technical and non-technical team, we can prevail. In the process of welcoming our guests, I once again welcome Dr. Nisha Tiwari, who has obliged us by joining today, sparing her precious time for us. Welcome, ma'am. May I now request Dr. Ashok Shukla, HOD Microbiology, Holy Cross Women's College, Ambikapur, to welcome our resource person, Dr. Shilpi Srivastava, with the plant. This is our token of love to welcome you and to give a message of our connection with nature, Mother Earth. Welcome, ma'am. I once again welcome our respected principal. I once again welcome our vice principal in today's session. As we proceed, I would extend my warm welcome to our keynote speaker who is joining us online from USA. I'm glad to mention she is our alumni of the batch of 1978-79. Let me provide a brief introduction of our keynote speaker of today's session, Dr. Usha Mantha. Dr. Usha Mantha, MD, FAA, FP, USA, MRCOG, England, is board certified family physician, diplomate in obesity medicine, medical weight loss expert, women's primary care, aesthetic physician specialist, CEO, director, Verb, weight loss and laser aesthetics. She is associated with Pomona Valley Hospital Medical Center, San Antonio Regional Hospital, Casa Colina Hospital for Rehabilitation, Pomona, Kindred Hospital, Ontario. She has experience in medical practice from 1987 till present. Her education is from Holy Cross Convent School and Holy Cross Women's College, Ambikapur, 1976 to 79. She has completed her MBBS from Riva, MRCOG from England, MD from La Trobe, PA. She is a Fellow of American Society for Laser Medicine and Surgery 2022-23, among others. She has professional society memberships for AAFP, OMA, ASLMS, etc. She is also associated with community or charitable associations like Upland Chamber for Commerce, TELSA, Cherubin Foundation US, Ekal Vidyalaya India, Home for Hope, Udyan Care India. She has specialized laser aesthetic training. She is associated with several committees and is also visiting faculty at School of Medicine, California. The list would go on, so let me now invite her for her presentation. She is our keynote speaker for today, Dr. Usha Mantha.
Thank you so much. Good morning to all of you. I hope you can hear me clearly. And I want to start with extending my gratitude and thank you to all of you and my alma mater, Holy Cross Women's College, Ambikapur, and also to my alma mater, Holy Cross Convent School, Ambikapur, for initiating the journey. And I want to thank you for inviting me as your keynote speaker today on this international seminar on recent trends in science and technology, helping to advance Department of Chemistry. My special thank you to Dr. Sister Shanta Joseph, Principal Holy Cross Women's College, organizers and facilitators, Drs. Pramod Yadav, Dr. Usha Shukla, Assistant Professor Mrs. Mamta Kashyap, and all the faculty and students and every single one who is upfront and behind the scenes to make this event happen. And I just want to just say a short thank you to my friend, my co-alma mater, and she'll be a speaker later on today, Mrs. Roshan Ara, who went to school with me and college. And I just want to say thank you because she is the key person who reconnected me with Dr. Shukla, and that's why I'm here. Second thing is, I want to present a very short introduction in addition to what you have heard. Um, and in doing so, I would like to share some pictures. So if you look at this picture, you will believe it's me. And this is a picture from 1976, 77, 78, when I was at the school. And subsequently, I joined Women's College, Ambikapur. My journey started 47 years ago when I joined Holy Cross Convent High School. And after graduating in 1978, 1979, I went to Riva Medical School. And from there, I went to London, did my membership in Royal College of OBGYN, and I moved to United States about 28 years ago. So I want you to recognize so many of my seniors and my sisters who have created who I am today. And this has been my journey from Ambikapur here in United States. Um, so I just want to extend my thank you first, that I feel very blessed, grateful, and humble as I come back as an international keynote speaker to my dear alma mater, Holy Cross Women's College, Ambikapur. Because of the educational foundations, knowledge, discipline, values, and virtues of hard work, I became a well-rounded human being in society. This has enabled me to return the graciousness back to the society through dedication and service to humankind as a physician. There is not a single day goes by in my life when sitting in my office many thousand miles away from my birth country, I talk, think, remember, and give thanks and grace to my educational foundation, my alma mater, Holy Cross Women's College, Ambikapur. So I again thank you for inviting me to join you on this journey. So finally, I would like to start my talk for today, which is laser, and it's in medicine research involving an advanced use of lasers in health and wellness. So my main point will be to talk about lasers. What do they do? What are they? And how do we use them in aesthetic and medical and non-medical uses? So let's start by definition of laser. Laser means light amplified by stimulation of radiation. We know it travels in wavelengths, and because they travel in wavelengths, they are monochromatic, collimated, size narrow, and controlled. They are very useful for many of our specific functions. And the importance of lasers is where they are generated. Red light is different than blue light. What are the laser applications? So general laser applications are all dependent on the type of laser, like you said, and lasers are also graded according to their strength. So the general laser applications, if we look at, they are laser beam technology. And this is concentrated beam of light that can be used to shoot across the range of rooms in concerts, game arcades, light shows, and in gaming industry to provide vivid colors and effects. Atomic clocks, which we use in GPS, that is your system for your daily use, and many other large institutions like NASA to measure distances. The communication devices are used by NASA, again, ISRO, and other space and satellite industries. Precision power tools like diamond and other heavy metal cutting industries. Laser printer technology, large amount, inexpensive printing can be performed by lasers. Science and technology university technology where barcode scanning for identification extraction, exact information. You see this every day in our day-to-day lives. Military use, which is determining hidden explosives and landmines to save lives. And in the planetary communication devices, like for example, our Curiosity rover on Mars is collecting data of chemicals through laser spectrophotometer. So coming back to lasers in medicine and surgery, why do we like lasers in medicine and surgery? Lasers by nature, they are very precise, very controlled, and very predictable beams of light. And the laser wavelength tells us the varies, how does it vary about its affinity and effect on the target tissue. And there are two broad types of categories of lasers in medicine surgery. First one is your therapeutic use, which is for treating certain conditions in medicine and surgery. And the second use is aesthetic industry, which is getting very prevalent, very popular, and that is your beauty and cosmetics. That acts to laser energy. So lasers must be matched according to the melanin content of the skin. And according to the melanin content of the skin types range from 1 till 4 and beyond. For example, skin type 1, 2 will have less melanin, 3, 4, and 5, for example, has more melanin. And laser specifically targeting the melanin has to be used according to the skin types. So what is laser? Why is this laser so popular in medical and surgical fields? Because it's very precise. So the precision cutting and minimal blood loss, reduced discomfort, and clean and rapid wound healing. In fact, lasers have actually revolutionized how we practice in medicine and surgery. Years ago, when I was a resident back in England, which is almost 30 years ago, there was only one laser available in the whole hospital, which was about 4,000 bedded office, about 4 or 5 lasers in an outpatient clinical setting. So the lasers have become very, very inherent part of our day-to-day living and very useful. So what are the lasers that were actually originally started in medicine and surgery? The main two types of lasers that we had discovered many, many years ago, almost like 1900s. And the first laser was, the earliest was CO2 laser. It's a higher grade laser to necrosis and regrowth with ablation. CO2 laser was the most popular laser many, many years ago. And it was one of the first lasers. And the way this energy worked was frequently we found ND-YAG laser, which is a laser which actually specifically worked with blood cells. It actually helped us stop bleeding, hemostasis. So that's why ND-YAG laser became rapidly useful in surgery to minimize the blood loss. It also became very important in tumor necrosis, which is to treat tumors. And and because of these two special features, ND-YAG laser became a very inherent part of endoscopic procedures. So endoscopic procedures, the cavities of the body. So one of the very earliest uses of laser technology was in the management of something called LASIK. And LASIK is a special laser guided procedure for short-sightedness. And with LASIK, it is a laser procedure by which we reduce the or change the curvature of the cornea. And it's with 98% success rate to improve the short-sighted. Of laser in the body of medicine and surgery comes in lithotripsy. Lithotripsy is a procedure by which there are several stones can be formed in the body. And these stones, especially in the urinary tract system, which are colored stones, need to be crushed and removed. Prior to doing laser lithotripsy, it was heat was used. However, since the invention of the laser technology, laser is used to crush the stones in the kidney, ureter, and bladder, and then remove from the body. Next ones are the chromophores. Now, chromophores are colored stones, and they are in any part of the body. They can be damaged. I mean, they can be destroyed by laser and subsequently eliminated. Now, so the laser has really revolutionized and in outpatient settings, even in mobile units, they are doing lithotripsies. Important is the progress of laser or, sort of really advanced laser in oncology, in cancer specialization, cancer surgeries, especially in brain tumors where there are very small, very, amount of small cancers deep in the brain, inaccessible by traditional techniques and open surgeries, and are very vascular. By the nature of laser beams are, we are able to detect the laser beam to the tumor and able to destroy the tumor with minimal blood loss. Prior to doing laser, they used to use a photodynamic therapy, which had a lot more widespread surrounding tissue damage. To continue with that, one of the very, very important and significant, development of laser has been in the treatment of heart and this ablation of the heart tissue. The heart can form some aberrant pathways and it can lead to a condition called atrial fibrillation. It's pretty much the heart will beat in an irregular manner and it doesn't do what it's supposed to be doing with a regular movement. And that can cause slowing down of the blood system, leading to a clot. And it is the most common precursor of stroke, or you can call it paralysis. So this condition, the more we can treat this condition in many more people and easily and with minimal downtime, the more strokes we prevent. So laser has revolutionized the treatment of atrial fibrillation, in which the doctors can actually go in and destroy these abnormal pathways very selectively in the heart system and recover the rhythm to a normal rhythm so that we can prevent a large amount of strokes, paralysis, or strokes. So this has been a big revolution, in laser surgery. And the next important one is, again, laser application in epilepsy. Epilepsy can be due to a very localized disorder in the brain or an area of the brain. Laser has revolutionized that again by able to, specifically destroy that part of the brain to treat the focal epilepsy. And it is very, very safe in children and adults. And it's preventing the debilitating disorder. Now, those were the therapeutic uses of laser. Now we will talk about aesthetic uses of lasers in medicine and surgery. And the benefits of laser in aesthetic surgery are very many and very popular. For example, it's very, prevalent uses anti-aging, hair reduction, wrinkle treatment, hair growth stimulation, pigment removal, whether it's acquired by sun damage, was a congenital like birthmark, or raising artificial ink in form of tattoos. And different wavelength of the different lasers can penetrate either the dermal layer or the deeper epidermal layers of the skin. And that's how they either remove the pigment by destroying the pigment, or they can do the collagen stimulation and tissue remodeling. Now, again, that were the earliest laser for cosmetic reasons that we have used to regenerate the skin, make the skin look healthier and plumper. And currently, though, we have so many more advanced lasers which are very, very precise and which can be used with very little and a lot more benefits, very, very little downtime. So lots of new ablative and non-ablative lasers are now available, and they all help with collagen stimulation and destroying the abnormal pigments and improving the appearance, the skin texture and treatment. And another advanced use of laser in aesthetics is its affinity. This is actually again a very important is its affinity towards abnormal vascularization and treating some things called that are like congenital lesions, for example, port wine stain. It is one of the conditions in which babies are born with huge red mark either on their face, mostly on their face, around the eye, around the mouth, around the body. And these stains are very cosmetically or aesthetically very disturbing to the parents and to the children. And lasers have become a lifesaver in these conditions because they have completely revolutionized these treatments, and they prevent the, really quite disfiguring progression of these stains congenital. So lasers have come really, really far in that. So, and last but not the least is all kinds of aesthetic procedures, especially laser teeth whitening technology, and from that to small handheld machines that can be used at home to very advanced ones which are used in dental offices. So, in conclusion, advances in laser technology from one machine to own several of these machines, it has been really a long, big journey and big revolution. And the vast range of availability of light handheld devices to safe home use for pimple reduction or hair removal, these have become very advanced. And with their safety profile, precision, and controlled effect on target and minimal downtime, we will continue to see the laser use here in day-to-day lives to stay out of human life and take it to a new heights. I can take any questions or if I have time, and otherwise, thank you for listening.
You can ask any questions if any you have. Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. We are greatly honored with your presence, though virtually, yet as a matter of pride, we are happy to present you as alumni of Holy Cross Women's College, Ambikapur. Your valuable insight on laser and its application has helped us in expansion of our knowledge at this new advancement in science. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. As we begin session 1, I would request Dr. Shilpi Srivastava to chair this session. Dr. Shilpi Srivastava is Dean Applied Science, Professor and Head of Department Chemistry, Kalinga University, Naya Raipur, CG. Now, moving ahead, we have our resource person for this session, Dr. Nisha Tiwari. Dr. Nisha Tiwari is Assistant Professor Chemistry, Government Bilasa Girls PG College, Bilaspur. She has published 12 research papers. She has presented and attended 89 seminars, workshops and conferences. She is life member of Association of Bulletin of Kinetics of India. She is member of Division Level Nodal Center of Mentor-Mentee Scheme of Department of Higher Education, Raipur CG, to mention a few among her achievements. This list would go on, and so may I now request Dr. Nisha Tiwari for her presentation. Give a huge round of applause.
देखिए मेरा पेन ड्राइव कहाँ है? पेन ड्राइव मेरा आपको दिया था ना मैंने? नहीं है ना यहाँ पे? बड़े अच्छी बात है। ममता को तो मेरा पेन ड्राइव अरे ममता को दी थी मैं यहाँ लगाने के लिए। अंकुर मतलब नहीं इन्हीं लोग ना गजब नहीं वही नहीं दूसरा सेव कर लेते तुम क्या Good morning to everybody. Good morning to Dr. Shanta Joseph Madam, Principal of Holy Cross Women's College, Ambikapur, for giving me opportunity to present my paper as review. And I also thankful to Dr. Usha Shukla, Dr. Mamta Kashyap Madam, and Pramod sir to inviting me as a resource person. Today, I am Dr. Nisha Tiwari from Government Girls Bilasa Girls College, Bilaspur. Today, I want to represent my paper in this international seminar. Actually, I want to correlate the use of grain chemistry and waste management for sustainable life, and how we can implement actually the principles and plannings of government in day-to-day life. I want to, I try to correlate this. Okay, sir. Next, sir. Next. In abstract, I shows that the green chemistry is actually the designing of chemical product and processes that reduces the hazardous chemicals available. I saw in abstract actually the summarized work of my review paper, how government framed some environmental policies to tackle the issues of waste management, how the hierarchy of government is most desirable option of least to least desirable option by reduce, reuse and recycle of the products. And next one is the major use of green chemistry are to prevent energy, global warming, resource depletion, etc. And the various action plans of the government, like establishment of eco clubs, green clubs, and green belts near water bodies, how participation of women are involved is shown in this paper. Please, next. Green chemistry is nothing actual the design of chemical products and process that reduces and eliminates the use of hazardous chemical. Green chemistry is nothing a new chemistry. It is the only concept by which how we save our environment in several ways. Next. Here is the introduction about green chemistry. Green chemistry is also known as sustainable chemistry because by its use, we can convert the less hazardous substances. And it is defined as the production and practices of chemical sciences and manufacturing for well-beings. Production, processing, use, and eventual disposal of chemical products may cause harmful if performed incorrectly. Next. In several ways, philosophy, which encourages the researchers to prevent the pollution and bring down the low-cost disposal of waste managements are seen. Actually, the increasing profits and promising innovations in protecting human health are necessary, and applies organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, biochemistry, all the chemistries, even in physical chemistries, focuses on the industrial application, is also benefited by green chemistry practices. The actually history of green chemistry is already we learned in yesterday's session by Bargaha sir. First of all, first time concept of green chemistry is actually given by Trevor Claeys in 1978. But no, name green chemistry is given in 1991 by Paul Anastas, which is now popular and applicable. Next. Everyone knows about the 12 principles of green chemistry, and principles are divided into 12 sections. First one is pollution prevention. Second one is atom economy, in which how we design the atomic systems and materials to process less hazardous chemicals. Third one is less hazardous chemical synthesis process. Fourth one is, next sir. Fourth one is designing safer chemicals. In any production, how we can convert harmful chemicals to less harmful or less hazardous chemicals. Fifth one is safer solvent and auxiliaries. Sixth is design and energy efficient system. Now how we can design our synthesis or any chemical process, industrial application to process and recycle again and again. Eighth one is reduce derivatives. How can we reduce unnecessary derivatives and minimize the derivatives is eighth principle. And ninth one is, next sir, catalysis. Use of catalysis, everyone knows the catalysis is the substance which activate in minimum amount of any reactions, cost is decreases, rate is fast, yield is fast. So catalysis is one and the most important part of the green chemistry. 10th one is the design for degradation. How we degraded the end products which is harmful and how less harmful products are produced is actually the design and of synthesis. 11th is the real-time analysis of pollution prevention. Actually, how we can prevent pollution, different type of pollutions are there, is 11th principle of green chemistry. And 12th one is the inherently safer chemistry for accident prevention. So these 12 principles are well known by all of us, but how we can implement and how government can implement in social life is difficult. Next. Here, in this slide, we see that the raw material is converted into end product by chemical synthesis, and which gives us end of the products for life management. And as shown here, all are the in potential risk, 1, 2, 3, 4, all are in potential risk to workers, suppliers, shippers, to community near manufacturing sites, local environment and global environment. So each are affected by these. Therefore, these all are prevented necessarily. Next one. In this, we can see that the recycling of crop, this is actual principle of green chemistry, how we can converting biomass from wood, plain, etc. Here shown that the agricultural feedstock is actually converted into energy, and by recycling end products are again converted into biorefinery, and organic waste collection is converted to compost, which is again decomposes and releases carbon dioxide and hydrogen, water, which by photosynthesis with sunlight again converted into crop, and cycle is going again and again, and we can reduce the cost. Next, sir. Green chemistry is actually nothing. It is about the study of reducing waste, how we can reduce the waste material, how can we use less and less materials, how hazardous substances are controlled or minimized, how risk is minimized, how energy is stored, how energy is recycled, reused, and how cost is reduced. These all are the basic needs for our life and controlled by green chemistry. Next, sir. Here is question why we need green chemistry. Green chemistry is actually the very prominent part of our daily life. Chemical developments also bring new environmental problems and harmful unexpected side effects. A famous example of the pesticide is DDT. DDT is very valuable for insecticide, but it is hazardous chemicals. Therefore, we can not use this in present scenario. Next one. Green chemistry looks like a pollution prevention methods, and it is the program supports the invention of more environmentally friendly chemical process. This program works very closely with the 12 principle of green chemistry. Next. Here are various goals of green chemistry. Yesterday we also learned about goals of green chemistry by Varga sir. So I think repetition of this is not needed. Next, sir. Introduction. Now we want to introduce about the waste management. What is the waste management? Waste management is actually those activity and action required to manage waste from its inception of final disposal. This includes, among us other things, collection, transport, treatment, and disposal of waste. Now we see how we can collect, dispose, and recycle, reuse of the waste. Next, sir. Effects of waste are in several directions. Here I show two types of environmental effects, like in surface water contamination, groundwater contamination, soil contamination, and air contamination. And economic effects are in municipal well-beings and recycling revenue. Next, sir. Waste management is the actually collection and disposal of waste and recycling of waste. So waste management is followed by following process like waste collection, transportation, segregation, recycling, disposal, and minimization and control of hazardous chemicals. Next. Waste management, in this cycle we see that the storage of collection shown by yellow color, collection is converted into waste transportation, then waste treatment, waste removal, recycling and reuse, landfill. All are knows these processes, but what is the difficulty in actually implementation of waste management? We see in next. Waste management are four methods of proper waste management are recycling, composting, burning of the waste, landfills. So recycling is the most well-known method of the managing waste or anything else. And composing is the conversion of the waste into compost, which is beneficial. Burning is actually not good practices, but some wastes are not recycled. Then we converted into fossils by burning. Next. All of we knows that the daily कचरा सूखा कचरा डालो कूड़ेदान में, पर केवल वो उसमें गाने में ही रह जाता है, और जो लेके आता है गाड़ी वो भी अब सेपरेट नहीं करता। हम सभी भी देखते हैं कि हम थोड़े दिन हमने डाला, फिर गीला कचरा सूखा कचरा हम अलग अलग नहीं करते हैं, डाल देते हैं उसी में। तो ये केवल अभी पिक्चर और सिखाने और कहने के लिए रह गया है। तो हम देख रहे हैं कि जैसे यहाँ लिखा हुआ है, वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट फ्रॉम कॉमन हाउस होल्ड, two parts are there, wet and dry, and in recycling scale both are separated, treated. So in waste management of wet products are vegetarian food, peels, etc., and dry waste are polythene, which is not easily converted into which is not actually recycled. Next. Waste management process of industrial waste are loading, first of all loading to the primary chamber, then destruction of gases at secondary chamber, then processing time takes, and after cooling down transforming the sanitary landfill and disposal at sanitary landfill. Next. Next. The waste management here is seen in the by collection of waste. Waste collections is taken to the plant, and plant converted it into heat and processed waste product converted into energy. Energy uses several ways, by fuel, as a gas, as a electricity. Next, sir. Here the waste management refers to the activities connected with the collection and disposal of waste in following manner: then waste transportation, then segregation of waste into recyclable and non-recyclable products, and then waste are recycled and waste minimized and controlled. We see the waste management hierarchy of most desirable option to least desirable options are shown here. By this hierarchy, we reduce or minimize the amount of waste product as possible, and then we reuse the materials more than once, then recycle into and convert it into compost, which is useful, and then recover the useful products, and lastly safe disposal of waste is disposed into landfill. If this is actually follows, then we see that the waste amount is minimized to minimum level. Next. Next, sir. Here we see that the polyhydroxyalkanoates are converted into useful plastics by sunlight, carbon dioxide and water converted into crop. Crop gives us the sugar solution, which is after fermentation converted into polyhydroxyalkanoates, or which is converted to plastic products, which easily biodegradable into carbon dioxide and water. Next, sir. Next. Overall, we see that the major use of green chemistry are to saving energy, to save the global warming, resource depletion, food supply chain, toxicity in the environment in beneficial ways. Next. Overall, we see that the heating, cooling, stirring, distillation, compression, pumping, separation are converted into electricity, or electricity is converted into burning fossil fuel, which is converted into carbon dioxide and atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is responsible for global warming, and many more gases, chlorofluorocarbons, nitrogen oxides are also responsible for global warming. Next. Here polylactic acid are the plastic, for the plastic products production is also beneficial. This slide is also seen yesterday. how corn is converted into polymer grades, fiber, film, thermoforming, bottles, woven, non-woven, etc., which is less harmful. Next. Actually, on for green chemistry and waste management, our government plans the project, appoints the project coordinators. Project validation system, flow of information, hierarchy, outputs, as shown in this figure. By project coordination converted into 5 groups. First is the work packages in which emission inventory are taken. Work package 2 is remote sensing and the GIS of the spatial allocation. Third is the source appointment. Fourth is working package of the sector-wise economic projection. 5 is pollution modeling. All are planning, but actual implementation in ground level is very less. Next. Sir, next. So, we seen that the usually solid waste are biodegradable and non-gradable nature, vastly at the household level, and awareness needs to be created around its people have to be informed that they can either dig a small hole or converted into compost after 2 to 3 weeks. Polythene menace. Polythene is thing we all know that it can causes endocrine disruption, allergies, and hypersensitivity reaction in children and human beings. Also dangerous for animals also. To encourage recyclable jute bags and suitable disposal by paper and other biodegradable person. Action plans are, there is so many action plans of government. Action plans first, establishment of eco clubs. Government says the most school and colleges have a particular society working for the betterment of the environment. However, simply forming a society is not enough, but on the ground level, what measures are steps taken by us for betterment of the habitat crucial. So we use 3 R's principle of waste management, reduce, reuse, and recycle of the waste products. Next. Next planning is the establishment of green belts. Green belts is actually it is found near the river and water bodies. Green belt area signifies that no concrete is going to be used there. The trees are planted in these areas. This club is run by joint forest communities and are given the accountability of taking care of these green belts. Even though there are many laws and regulations in India defending the preservation of the environment, but efforts towards the facilitating the requirement of environmental protection have failed due to the lack of public core of attention. Actually, the establishment green belts and all these many plannings and actually the facility which is actually needed for everything is not available there. It is the cause of the failure. Next is the participation of rural women in environmental awareness. As we see that the 70% in our Chhattisgarh, 70% rural area and 30% the reason being she spends a great part of her life in arranging fuel, fodder, water for her family and actively involved in the sustainable use of common resource. Thus, teaching rural women are necessary. Next, sir. Next. The water conservation technique should be taught to everyone. Tree plantation should be encouraged in and around the villages. Pesticide and fertilizer should be used in appropriate and minimum quantity which is urgent and necessary. Biogas plants should be encouraged purposes. The flour mills, brick kilns, other small scale industry should be established away from the residential areas. Lessons the environmental hazard and disaster should be taught. Here are some methods of environmental awareness like folk drama and traditional dances by Scout Guide and CC Cadet Plantation scheme, by exhibition and competitions in different organization and institution. Next. In community level awareness, technical capacity of the line agencies and field level data and research on climatic change are actually the management of waste and application of green chemistry. Climate resilient strategies for sectors including forestry, 0.55 lakh farmer household in the state, 76% fall under the small and marginal society. Here is the key activity which is established by government of Chhattisgarh. Development of awareness modules on climatic change, 3-month courses, training of the trainers and panchayat level, and awareness campaign 6 months to cover all the Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat Sabha in Chhattisgarh. 3 steps are taken. First one is the community awareness on climatic change. Second one is the community identifies issues, because every community have different types of problem. Every problem is not suitable in all areas. Therefore, it is necessary to identify the issues of particular community. And lastly, community develops the climatic resilient planning, which is different for all the areas. Here we see that the stages of community level which is implemented according to their problems. And the key activities taken are the Gram Sabha, Panchayat level consultancy, and the integration of the plan in GPDP for the budgetary allocation for 3 months and 2 months. Next. Here climatic action mind map is shown, which is divided into 2 parts. First part is the response to climatic change in mitigation, and second one is adaptation. In mitigation, we see that the reducing greenhouse gases emission by planting trees, reducing plastic bags and use of energy saving light, use solar energy, eat more vegetables and less non-veg, turn off the lights where not needed, and adoption is by several things: plant drought resistance and building and etc. Next. Effect of someone is shown in here. Ferroalloys industry in Raipur, Raigad, Durg, Jangir, Champa mainly, and many other moors are there. Environmental health hazards are manganese dust and fumes, which causes the manganese poisoning and its a sequel, carbon monoxide. Hello. I continued. Effect of industrial waste on health hazards are shown in table. Industrial gases like the manganese poisoning, carbon monoxide poisoning, reduction of birth weights, higher prevention of Parkinson disease, disturbance, respiratory tract infection, oral exposure, dermatitis, all are causes by the industrial wastes. Next. And the next, industrial involving the manufacturing treatment of lead and certain compounds in Korba and Raipur, which causes the lead dust and fumes in several industrial gases. And health hazards created are the lead poisoning, lead tetraethyl poisoning, toxic anemia, toxic nephritis, toxic jaundice due to poisoning substances. And third one is the stone crushers and the foundries in Raigad, Raipur, Durg, almost all over Chhattisgarh are produces silica dust, industrial noise, stone dust, which causes silicosis, noise induces hearing loss, contact dermatitis, etc. And the power generation industries in Korba, Raigad are produces coal dust, industrial noise, cardiorespiratory toxins, which causes the several diseases like noise-induced diseases and neurological diseases. And cement industries in Valoda Bazar, Janjgir, Raipur, Durg produces silica dust and industrial noise, which causes the also contact dermatitis and noise pollutions. Next. Next. Sixth one is the sponge iron industry in Raipur, Raigad, Durg, which produces coal dust and industrial noise and causes carbon monoxide poisonous and pneumonia. Seventh one is the integrated iron in steel industries in Raipur, Raigad, Durg, Jangir Chapa, which causes the several industrial gases and effluents and which also causes the several diseases. And VD sites industry in Raipur, cold storage industry in everywhere, rolling mills and wire drawing mills, galvanizing industries, fabrication industries, several industries are causes, produces several type of hazardous chemicals which causes several diseases. Next. Here the map for the waste management plan of the government was solid waste management plan, plastic waste management plan, community C&D waste management plan, biomedical waste management plan, hazardous waste management plan, e-waste management plan, water quality, domestic sewage, polluted industrial, air quality, mining activity, noise pollution. So many management plans are there, but implementation is very few percentage. Next. Resources available for waste management are waste collection trolleys, number are shown 1,547 numbers, mini collection trucks 832 numbers, segregated transports 56 numbers, bulk waste trucks 59 numbers, waste transfer points 90 numbers. There are so many facilities given by government, but it is not sufficient for recovery and recycling of the waste available in so large area. Waste to the RDF, refusal derived fuel, which is created by the burning of fuels in industry, is established in the Bilaspur only. The sanitary landfill and waste to RDF facility is operational and the facility in Raipur is under construction. Capacity of sanitary landfill and solid management are available in 100 tons per day for waste to RDF, 150 tons per day for compost plant, but which is not sufficient for the available waste. Waste deposit centers, 110 waste deposit centers of domestic hazardous waste have been established and working. Next. District target to ensure the provision of the setting of the solid waste managements in 31st March 2020, means before 3 years, but implementation is in very few level. Notification and implementation of bylaws are also there. Recycling, co-processing and road constructions planning as plastic recycles, 10 plastic recyclers are registered in state. Utilization of plastic waste in road constructions are two urban local bodies, Ambikapur and Rajnandgaon, have plastic waste which is converted plastic into road build and building constructions purpose. Next. Co-processing of plastic waste by cement plants. Cement plants also produces the many more hazardous substances which is difficult to recover. Next. Next, sir. Chhattisgarh Plastic and Other Non-Biodegradable Material Uses Regulation and Use of the Disposal Act established in 2020 are also not get her target till date. The proposed act will give power so that the state government of Chhattisgarh to restrict, prohibit, regulate or manage the use, manufacture, sell, purchase, storage is necessary. Next, sir. Here I want to conclude my topic. One can understand that these resources are their own and they must protect it. The difficulties that state is facing are not only the lack of legal and economic framework for environmental protection, for lacking to find her objects. So that's all about my presentation. Actually, I think the need is every people, everyone in the society should be aware and responsible for this type of problem. Thank you. Any question? There is no hurdle in green chemistry. Green chemistry, I says that actually it is no new chemistry. It is the practices,
Hello?
best practices to save the environment, to minimize the hazardous chemicals. It is also part of the chemistry. It is popular. Who says that it is not popular? Many work is going on in this field. The seminar is going with objective of this. Many works are going on. NEP syllabus, green chemistry is also included now. Yes? So then problem of pollution is not, therefore problem of pollution is not controlled because we not aware the to control about the hazardous substances. जैसा कि हम देख रहे हैं कि गवर्नमेंट ने प्लानिंग बना दी है, प्लानिंग को अकेले गवर्नमेंट खुद नहीं कर सकती कि उसको इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकती है. जितना भी जब वो प्लानिंग बनाते हैं वो 3 साल तक इम्प्लीमेंट होना है, तब तक प्रॉब्लम और बढ़ जाती है. तो ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री आप कह रहे हो कि केमिस्ट्री को जैसे हम पढ़ रहे हैं, जैसा केमिस्ट्री का यूज़ है वैसा ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री का यूज़ नहीं है. ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री कोई केमिस्ट्री नहीं है जिसका हम इक्वेशन और ऐसा करें. ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री एक्चुअल में क्या है, प्रैक्टिस है, प्रिंसिपल है to save the environment, to minimize the pollution, to minimize the hazardous. सारा pollution control नहीं हो पा रहा है, उसको कंट्रोल करने में जो भी हम प्रैक्टिसेस करेंगे वो ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री है. जो भी प्रैक्टिस करें, जिस भी लेवल में करें, तो जो जहाँ है उसको उसी लेवल पे हमको कोशिश करना है. जैसे कि कोई स्टूडेंट है तो उनकी क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, उन्होंने सुन लिया ये हमारा काम नहीं है, ये तो टीचर जाने, उन्होंने पढ़ाया है. गवर्नमेंट का काम है तो ये गवर्नमेंट कचरा उठवाएगी, हम फैलाते हैं. तो अगर हम भी उसमें भागीदारी नहीं करेंगे तो जो भी प्लान है वो इम्प्लीमेंट और वो फिर सक्सेस नहीं हो पाएगा. तो ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री कोर्सेस में आ गई है, उसको पढ़ना है, पर ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री ऐसा कोई इक्वेशन या प्रिंसिपल ऐसे लिख के नहीं है. 12 प्रिंसिपल्स आपने देखा ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री के बना दिए गए हैं, वो एक्चुअल में क्या है, ये उनको बांट दिया गया है कि ऐसा ऐसा करेंगे तो क्या क्या लाभ होगा हमको और क्या क्या हम मिनिमाइज़ कर पाएंगे, जो हमारे लिए हार्मफुल है उसको कैसे हम कम करें. ख़त्म नहीं कर सकते, केवल क्या कर सकते हैं, उसको रोकथाम कर सकते हैं. जब हमारे पास आ गया है हैजार्डस सब्सटेंस, उसको समाप्त करना कठिन है, इसलिए ऐसी प्रैक्टिसेस को हम बनाएं कि वो हैजार्डस सब्सटेंस कम बने. कम से कम ग्रीन प्रैक्टिसेस, ग्रीन मैन्योरिंग करें और केमिकल्स और फर्टिलाइजर्स में भी केमिकल का कम यूज़ करें. ये सारी प्रैक्टिसेस ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री हैं एक्चुअल.
Hello. You ask any question, everyone,
Yes, yes.
regarding this topic?
बोलिए. Mic? हाँ.
beneficial for our economy, our Indian economy.
They pardon. How we will save money?
Ma'am, can we save money by using green chemistry and how it's beneficial for our Indian economy?
We save money by green chemistry. If we produce less harmful chemicals, then our health is better, our crops are better, of better quality, less medication is needed, less chemical fertilizers are needed. In every 12 principle, benefits are already seen. If green manuring by compost farming, then cost is reduced. But in many ways, cost is increased also. Matlab everywhere cost is not decreased, but pollution control and health hazard is above the cost.
Ma'am, but
I
how
think
it's
beneficial for less hazardous substance. है ना?
ma'am.
Health economy, actually I say that. Health economy is introduced.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Extremely sorry, ma'am, for the inconvenience and disruption due to power cut. Thank you very much for this insightful knowledge sharing on green chemistry for reduction in usage of hazardous chemicals and waste management and various environmental aspects, need for environmental protection and conservation. Thank you very much, ma'am. We now have Dr. Roshan Ara from USA. She is our alumni and she is going to present her paper today. She had been a cancer survivor. She has battled cancer, lung cancer, and emerged out as a victorious survivor. This is an insightful journey of her survival. Now we welcome Ms. Roshan Ara to please present her paper. She is joining us online.
Hello,
Can you hear me?
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Hello, can you hear me? Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Roshan Ara. Today, I am pleased to share my cancer journey. My mode of treatment was hybrid. I went through advanced cancer treatment in USA and traditional Ayurvedic treatment combined. Hopefully, traditional approach may benefit all of you in preventing this disease. Thanks to respected Principal Dr. Sister Shanta Joseph, Assistant Professor Mrs. Mamta Kashyap in Chemistry Department, Dr. Usha Shukla, Dr. Pramod Yadav, and other respected staff members for coordinating my speech. Today, I'm going to share my experience as a cancer survivor. As you can see, my background, I graduated from Holy Cross Women's College, Ambikapur, and it was very wonderful experience. We are here. Currently, I'm in remission for stage 2B lung cancer. I live in Los Angeles for seniors. Married for 36 years, and mom of two wonderful kids named Zobia Quraishi and Ragib Quraishi. My hobby is in my free time, I tutor bio to my community children. Now, diagnosis and lobectomy. I was very fortunate in the sense of that I did not feel any symptom of the lung cancer. I I I got sick for I got some viral infection and ended up going to the emergency. And then there in CT scan, they found the nodule on the right side of the lung and left side of the lung. In the right side of the lung, the nodule was 6 millimeter, and then of the left side of the lung, the nodule was 12 millimeter. And in this area, when the nodule is 6 millimeter, they don't pay attention because biopsy cannot be done more than 8 millimeter. They were concerned about my left side 12 millimeter nodule, and the action was taken right away. And then uh, I uh, I went to see my thoracic surgeon. No, first the biopsy was done. And during this difficult journey, Usha, thank you so much. My friend Usha, Dr. Usha Mantha, was very supportive throughout my this journey. Since medical is not my area, so she was guiding me while I was emailing to the doctor, while I was having any concern, she was guiding me. For example, like ask your doctor, is the biopsy is going to be done by the interventional radiologist? Then I was getting the answer, yes. Is this going to be CT guided? Then I was getting the answer, yes. So thank you, Usha, for educating in all my area, and that made me expert person in this area. And then biopsy was done, and I was diagnosed stage 1 lung cancer. And doctors were very surprised that lung cancer is hard to diagnose at this early stage, but it was incidental finding, thanks to God. And then after that, my first visit to thoracic surgeon, I was given the option cancerous part of my lung. But we always decided to go for second opinion. And my family friend, Dr. Dahanda, works at Henry Mayo Hospital in my city. He contacted the City of Hope doctor. City of Hope is the one of the renowned cancer research center in world. Then the oncologist from the City of Hope, after seeing my report, suggested for the lobectomy, just remove the whole lobe, because he was concerned that cancer might move to the lymph node. So we discussed with the family member, with all the experts, and then we decided to go for lobectomy. And my surgery was done January 31st, 2022. And during this surgery, the COVID protocol was on. You can see my family, they were not even to visit me. So my daughter was FaceTiming, my husband Jagtab was FaceTiming me. And I recovered from the surgery. And after a week, I got a call from my thoracic surgeon that lobectomy option was better in my case, because two lymph nodes were positive. And from that lobectomy, the nodes were out. And in cancer, until stage 1, usually, I know just for the lung cancer, in stage 1, they don't require the chemotherapy, but from stage 2, since lymphatic channel is connected, so patient now require the further treatment like chemotherapy. And so for the chemotherapy, again, my cancerous cells tissue was sent for further checkup to check the EGFR. If the patient comes EGFR positive, they qualify for targeted treatment, and which is better option. In the targeted treatment, patient is given the oral medicine, and it kills only the cancer cell. But in my case, I was EGFR negative, and I had no choice but to go through this brutal chemotherapy. I I was given 4 chemo cycle. That chemo treatment was not easy to take. Got sick, hospitalized, many side effect. But luckily, whenever they give the chemo or immuno, the blood test is done one day before. The doctor makes sure that liver function is okay, kidney function is okay, WBC is at the right level, because during the chemo, WBC goes really low and the chances of infection becomes very higher. And thanks to God, everything continue to came normal, and I continue my chemo, and I finished my chemo successfully. After the chemo, again, we brainstormed and I joined the cancer survivor support group here. And I was hearing from the other people immunotherapy. I was reading in the article immunotherapy, and we emailed to our oncologist, Dr. Anuradha Pakanati, and she was not aware that time that stage 1 and stage 2 immunotherapy, FDA has approved immunotherapy. So that immunotherapy word made us to go for second opinion again to the City of Hope. And at the City of Hope, lung oncologist Dr. Mazruella suggested for immunotherapy, since FDA just approved for stage 1 and stage 2. Nowadays, thanks to all the research, new treatment is coming. So cancer is not like before. People are surviving. Survival rate is going higher and higher. So in immunotherapy is very effective in lung cancer. So in order to qualify for immunotherapy, again biomarker testing was done, and that is PDL1, PDL1 test. And the person, in order to qualify for immunotherapy, PDA1 has to be positive. In order to be positive, it has to be 0 or above. Luckily, I got my report came PDL1 positive, and I qualified for immunotherapy. During the immunotherapy, same process through the IV and treatment within an hour, and the side effect was not nothing was not like a chemotherapy. So immunotherapy, it helps the body build the immune system in our body, and then the medicine given during the immunotherapy, this PDL1 protein helps with this medicine, and PDL1 protein, it targets the cancer cell, sneaky cancer cell, and able to target the kill the cancer cell. So it is very effective treatment nowadays, thanks to all the research. But at the same time, this is the medical treatment. My treatment, like are you? I followed the changes in my diet, the uh, food, the pan. So I was reading the article in paper that nowadays people in agriculture field, industry, they use lot of chemicals and pesticides in order to grow in a large amount and big quantity. But eventually, when we consume that food, it becomes carcinogenic in our body. So in my backyard, I made my kitchen garden because I did not want to take the chance. And so in my backyard, I have, as you can see, I have a cauliflower, the broccoli, a cabbage, eggplant, parsley, cilantro, spinach, all those kinds of vegetables. So in every day, I try to eat salad, try to drink the smoothie, green smoothie, and I go to my backyard and bring all those things and add in my diet. And It's not just health. Now I will come to the part health focused cooking tips. When cooking vegetables, use the all part. Like for example, when we cook the cauliflower, we throw the top, try to add cook everything. And when you, for example, when we cook the tomato, leave the skin on, which contains lycopene, and this lycopene helps in preventing cancer cell growth. Other suggestion for tomato is like when the tomato is cooked in extra virgin olive oil, the amount of lycopene absorbed by our body is 3 times more. Avoid deep frying or consuming fried food which contains trans fat. Avoid red meat fat. Avoid high dairy product fat. Stay away from reusing oil after frying or cooking. And this I learned from the Usha. I joined her webinar a few times. I learned when oil is heated over and over, it loses its property. It changes from open chain to closed chain. Now it becomes saturated, and which is not healthy. Preferred alkaline oil because the cancer cell, they survive in acidic nature. So if our body if we keep our body alkaline, it will help cancer cell not to survive. So I started using alkaline oil in my kitchen, and some examples of alkaline oil are extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, grapeseed oil, mustard seed oil, and hemper seed oil. For the pot, I became so careful. In India, it's like when I was raised or still here, use all the time non-stick pans. And while we do the dishes, sometimes we are not careful. We take the iron scrubber and scratch goes on. So when we cook in this pan and food, warm food mixed in that, chemical release and it mixed with the food, and that food becomes carcinogenic. So I bought 2 books, and I have referred that I have used as a reference in this writing. Eat to beat, these kind of pots are highly recommended. One is cast iron, second is stainless steel, third is non-stick ceramic pans for cooking. Avoid use of microwave and utilize stove instead. Because when we use a radiation, high radiation of the microwave damage the property of the food, and that food becomes carcinogenic. Be extra careful in storing your food. Cold food can be stored in the plastic, but not the hard food. Store one food in glass container because the plastic, one food reacts with the plastic chemicals, and when when you are going to the work or anywhere, carry your tea or coffee in a thermos to avoid the heating in microwave. So those are very important. Now I will come to the cleaning part. And nowadays you can see we are bombarded with all the chemicals cleaning product, and it's not safe to use bleach and some other chemical. Inhaling fumes of such chemical is very harmful for the lung. So for in my home and in my surrounding, we used vinegar with dish liquid to clean the floor, any place, countertop, anything. And we use baking soda to clean the stove or microwave. And nowadays in the market, there are many plant-based cleaning products, as you can see, Method, Mervers, they are the plant-based cleaning. And while cleaning, during and after cleaning, open the window so ventilation can take place. In hypoxia, cancer cells survive. So when we open the door, clean air is coming in and out. And when we have enough oxygen, this cancer cell doesn't get chance to survive. So it's good idea to always have indoor plants inside your house. Some indoor plants are like money plant, snake plant. They are the oxygen bomb. Go to next. Prevention is better than cure. It is. So now as we age, DNA damage already takes place. And it's not just the cancer treatment, in other treatment also. Like when we have a back problem, the bone problem, the hand problem, uh, uh, we go for MRI, we go for CT scan. For the breast, we go for I'm not retaining the name, mammogram. So those radiation also can damage our body's DNA. So some food has a positive effects on DNA repair, such as spinach, carrot, red peppers, orange, kiwis, guava, lentil, beans, mushroom, and eggs, which have vitamin A, B, C, D, E. Bioactives found in food can suppress cancer stem cell. Some examples are here. Genistein found in soy, luteolin found in celery, oregano, and thyme, quercetin found in capers, apples, peppers, EGCG found in green tea. So they are all the antioxidant, and we have to make sure that we eat food rich in antioxidant and omega-3 because it helps inflammation. It keeps the inflammation down in our body. Next. Taking taking action like exercise, adequate sleep, and stretch management are definitely important to maintain health. Thank you. And these are the two books I keep continue to read, and I gain so much knowledge about the food uh, and other things. So these two books is Dr. Sebi Bible, and the other is Eat to Beat Disease. And that's what I learned in this journey, and hopefully you will benefit from this. Thank you for including me.
We are happy that you are safe and cancer free now, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. And
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry for keeping you waiting. Thank you for sharing the importance of consuming healthy and organic food in order to stay healthy. We will take a small break of 5 minutes. And before that, there is a small announcement. Those who are going to present their paper online, please stay prepared. We will have our online session after this. Take a break of 5 minutes and please come back. Thank you all.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Let me present my screen.
Hello.